what standards do Japanese women have that differ from Western women? Good question. Do you want to go ahead, John?
Japanese women are very feminine. They're very demure. They're very modest. They're not combative. They're not trashy. They're not outspoken and loud and obnoxious. They are very honorable women in the sense that they don't just do something and think like, oh, what is this effect going to have on me? They think, oh, what is this going to make my dad look like? What is this going to make my mom look like? What is this going to make my grandma look like? What's this going to make my uncle look like? So and that's a really good girl to have around, a woman that considers what her actions are going to affect not only her, but everybody around her.
This is a list of 5 countries where you can actually afford to retire by the beach, and number 5 is my personal favorite. Number 1, Ecuador. 500 miles of shoreline, quaint fishing villages, and rent that's 88% less than New York City. Number 2, Vietnam. 2,000 miles of coastline, delicious and cheap food, and cost of living 47% less than the US. Number 3, Belize. Not the cheapest, but still 28% less than the US, and offers the easiest transition through the retired person residency program. Number 4, Colombia. With coastline on both the Pacific Ocean and the Caribbean Sea, there's lots of beach towns to choose from, and the cost of living here is 61% less than the USA. And number 5, my personal favorite, Thailand. The cost of living is 38% less than the US, and if you're over 50, you can get a retirement visa. Comment below and let me know which one you'd choose.
Love is not enough to keep your husband. You need to also respect your husband. And if you're wondering what does that mean, respecting him means that when he tells you something, you don't make him repeat it more than once. Respecting him means when he's not around, you still honor him and you act like he's around and you behave in the way you would when he's around. You know what respect means. You do it with your boss, you do it with your father, so do it with your husband because he is the most deserving of respect than anyone else, and that's the way you...
Where? Where? Where, Dwight?
Seems like you already know where.
He's not a scrub, but I guarantee you he's not 6 feet, or has a large social media following, or is a man. Even if he is 6 feet tall, any man with a half a brain realizes that 10, that's I Colombia is higher quality than any American female her American equivalent in looks would be already passed around by a whole NBA team and demand Louis Vuitton bags and 6,000 prod shoes just to date her. So if you're well put together, like hitting the gym hard, having decent amount of money, going to places like Colombia will supercharge your dating life, as this man has found out.
In foreign countries, ma'am, when you see them PassportBros leading through the through the crowd with their beer belly and bald heads and colorful ugly shirts, this is how they live in America. This is it. This is what they come home to after you feed them arroz con pollo. This is what they coming home to, okay? I sprinkle, okay? This is what they coming home to, baby. Remember that.
Meet the so-called dating coach who's had her own fairy tale ending with a sugar daddy. It's hilarious that this post-war expert spends her days trashing men and hyping up the so-called modern woman's empowerment. She's built an empire on telling women they can have it all, while she's living proof of the ultimate contradiction, married to a wealthy man and still talking about the struggles of boss ladies getting the bag. Don't be fooled. The average passport bro isn't the one she's painting. The reality is far from the caricature she's peddling. Most passport bros are just everyday guys who've had enough of the endless nonsense from the dating scene in the West. They're tired of playing the game where every woman is chasing after the highest value male or living in delusion about finding Prince Charming. These men are making the smart move, seeking genuine connections abroad because they're sick of the inflated egos and unrealistic demands of modern Western women.
Let me get this straight. You have been telling men for years that you don't want them, that you don't need them, that they don't meet your standards, that they don't treat you right, that you can pay for your own hair, you can pay for your own nails, you can afford your own home, you can afford your own car. Men are good for nothing. you're strong, you're independent. But then you get mad when these men go to another country to actually find a woman that has the qualities that they are looking for in a wife. Make it make sense. I also want to talk about why this mindset that so many Western women have is actually extremely problematic. Because not only are you putting down the men who are going overseas with pure intentions, you're also putting down the women from these other countries solely off of the fact that they were not brought up in a Western culture. Because you're calling them uneducated, you're calling them poor, you're calling them weak, you're calling them vulnerable. You're creating a superiority complex where you are at the top and women from all these other countries are at the bottom. Now let me tell you something. If you were really superior, the men would not be leaving, and you would not be single.
Isn't it wild how a hot girl with the facts can drop knowledge bombs? You might be surprised, but many people in Asia speak English better than Americans. It makes you wonder why modern women are so bent out of shape about men going overseas to become passport bros. Here's the kicker: these women who rejected these men are often the same ones who want those very men to be there for them when they hit rock bottom, like when they're single mums or looking for a 304 retirement plan, aka marriage. They want these men back once they realize being strong and independent isn't all it's cracked up to be. As this lady points out, if American women are so superior, why are foreign women getting married to American men at higher rates? 6 out of 1,000 American men are tying the knot, while it's likely that more than 50% of American men going abroad are getting hitched to foreign ladies, probably even 75%.
Being single and 46 sucks. And I'm fucking tired. And I make jokes about the fucking buffoons that I have been encountering in dating. But in reality, this is my reality. This is my reality. All the good men have gotten married in their 20s and 30s because they're good men.
It's a tough reality for the good guys who took the plunge and married modern women. The statistics are brutal. Around 50% of these marriages end in divorce, and out of those, a staggering 80% are initiated by women. That's why any guy considering marriage should seriously think about becoming a passport bro. Now, let's talk about this dating coach who's still trying to find her place in the dating world. She's in her mid-40s, overweight, and proudly flaunts a kid's seat in her car. She's out there complaining about only meeting buffoons, but the harsh truth is, that's exactly what she's qualified for given her current situation. Her aspirations are laughable. She's like someone with the budget for a used Honda Civic trying to buy a brand new Porsche. In reality, no country is going to give her the high-value man she's dreaming of. Her pride and unrealistic expectations are keeping her from accepting the reality of her situation. She'd be lucky to land a spot as a side piece, but her ego won't let her settle for that.
Here you go.
Ooh, I said, did you make my dinner, not buy me food? Did you cook?
I just made that for you. You saw me in the kitchen for like 2 hours.
You were cooking this?
Yes, I made you African food. That's what you like.
You cooked this?
Yeah, I just made it.
You didn't buy this from a restaurant?
No, I cooked it for you. Why don't you try it? Why, you think because like I'm white, I can't cook?
I didn't say that. You used all the ingredients and everything.
Yes. Why don't you see why don't you just try it? Like.
You cooked this?
I cooked it.
You sure?
Try to go.
Remember when I told you I wasn't ready for a relationship?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want a girlfriend?
Mm-hmm.
Would you marry me?
Yeah.
I can't take you back home though. My village will not accept you. But would you marry me?
Okay, but we won't go to your village.
That's hilarious. This guy thought it was a glitch in the Matrix when an American woman actually cooked something that wasn't out of a box or microwaved. It just goes to show how the rest of the world views American women. And you wonder why most men from other countries only want women in the West for that green card or escort level experience. The reality is stark and undeniable. While American women are busy perfecting their microwave dinners, men are seeking out partners who bring more to the table literally and figuratively. What are your thoughts? Share them in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future uploads. See you next time.